Western world view technology. A lot of the innovations before maybe 2010 comes from from the Western world, but today we have innovation that is coming out of Africa. And I was really excited. The kind of people we try to attract is young minds like us. Give exposure so they can birth new things. So I'm hoping that the experience you will get today would implant in you such that you can then begin to go to your space to think about how do I improve the ecosystem. So if you look at the Tech Experience Center, what we've done is to collaborate with multiple vendors, OEMs as we like to call them, Microsoft, Dell, Cisco, HP, Lenovo, Think about the global OEMs. We've collaborated with them. You have global OEMs that we collaborate with for the Tech Experience Center. But for the session today, what we've done, again, just to streamline, is to collaborate with Cisco to show you what Cisco is offering at the table. So all I ask is for you to open your minds to learn.
And we're focused on modernizing infrastructure. We're also focused on innovation and education. We're also focused on using this innovation to create new jobs, digital services for private and public sectors. Then we ensure that these entire verticals are protected, right? So when you talk about modernization of infrastructures would be things like smart buildings, smart homes, having your systems connected. It could be your appliances at home. It could be also government infrastructures. Then we also develop skills to drive these infrastructures. Now, skills such as being able to build capacity in people, maybe network engineers, cybersecurity engineers, developers, programmers. Now, this workforce that we're building would also drive managing the technology that has been installed or that is to be installed. Now, this also creates jobs because innovation will be able to drive these startups to create more jobs. Now, by this, we are now consuming the amount of people we have trained digitally into the system. Now, where does cybersecurity come in? At the end of it all, everybody needs to be secured, right? Everybody needs to be secured. Everybody needs to know that data privacy, we all know that data privacy is key, and information from one system to another needs to be secured. So at the entire scope, we make sure that cybersecurity cuts into all verticals. The little innovation in Africa today and Nigeria today is the likes of LagRide, Uber, and the rest of them. It's part of digitalization, but we can step it up. Now, let's look at sustainable work for future. If you're creating a sustainable environment, that environment needs to accommodate all verticals. It needs to accommodate how humans behave. It needs to accommodate power consumption. It needs to accommodate air, right? It needs to also accommodate security. It needs to also accommodate healthcare. So these verticals is what Cisco is really investing in. And one part we are really focusing on is being able to conserve energy. Now, how is Cisco doing this? Cisco is doing this by making buildings programmable, and what powers this is being able to integrate applications into building processes. They should be API standardized, being able to consume, application web interface, APIs. Then infrastructures that support IoT, Internet of Things. Now with this, you can manage the amount of people you have in a certain place, and the technology that drives this system would be conservative enough to manage the technology or to manage the power that is being distributed in the building. Now, your physical buildings needs to be connected. And how are they connected? That's where you find network equipment, servers, infrastructures that are networked together and connected together. But how do they communicate? And that needs to be secure. So they go through our security systems, which are security services like firewall. So from your smart building or from your office or from anywhere you are, such kind of maybe a cafe or something, you could securely connect to solutions within and outside your environment. Now, with everything I've said, You can now bring hybrid work, smart spaces, and power it with the Meraki experience. And how does it work? How it works is that it is cloud-based. Everything is done within the cloud, and you just connect the device to the internet, and it downloads all the settings you have done. So gone are the days where if I want to set up 50 devices, 100 devices, I have to log into each of them one by one, yeah? So what has this done? It has reduced manpower. It has reduced what? Effort. It has reduced time, right? It has saved us a lot of process, and it has also saved us efficiency, because it is a simple dashboard where you can do click, click, finish. Now, with sustainability, this is what we have been able, to save. We've been able to save power. We've been able to save cost. We've improved power in time installation, deployment of equipment as fast as possible. We've also optimized air, which is we've also optimized oxygen in terms of saving more oxygen for other people to use. Then what else have we done? We've also, I think Cisco has been awarded a platinum standard for sustainability, so we're really driving it. So Vienna is the AI behind everything I've talked about, right? And you can find more AI solutions within Cisco Meraki Marketplace. Now, let me focus more on use cases. So everything I've talked about, I'm going to focus on how we can now use them to build use cases. Now, what you're seeing right here is a use case for violence, right? You could see the Meraki camera is able to capture that someone is moving in an is moving in an projected manner or something. He's moving in a manner that is not acceptable by that environment, and the AI is able to pick it, and once the AI picks it, it searches for if the person is carrying an object that is supposed to be censored. In this case, the person is carrying a sharp object, so this use case is an aggressive behavior alert. So once that is censored, it sends a signal to the alarm system in the entire building, and it triggers the alarm system, right? So this use case is referred to as an aggressive behavior, alert. Using the Meraki camera, we'll be able to pick barcodes of assets and compute them against the system, and we can tell if that asset is for that environment or not. So now in Nigeria, we could also use this for let me just give you a simple use case. We could use this for NDLEA. This could also be used for sleep and fall alert, right? Sleep and fall alert. Now, this is a factory environment, and once the Meraki camera picks that somebody is on this kind of position for a certain amount of time, it sends an alert. Now, all these alerts are sent to those managing the building, operations. Meanwhile, notwithstanding that it's going to trigger the building alert, but some certain kind of specific alerts are sent to those managing the building. Now, we're going to be having tea break. After the tea break, so that we could return here, and we have another 20 minutes of question and answers before we go into the demo session.
First question actually is, what's the plan you have for the startup that cannot afford all these things? Yeah.
The startups just use the hub as a platform. The technology is already there for them to use, right? The technology is available for them to use. Now, in a situation where they need something else that is not within the hub, that can be worked on. So far, it is driving innovation. that is the end. That is where all of these things is going to. So far as driving in innovation, something can be put in place, for them to continue whatever they are doing.
Thank you very much for the presentation. My name is Tega, and I have a question on the theft use case. A good solution, and when you were talking about it, you clearly, to me, it seems like you know your target customers already. So I want to ask, have you proposed a solution to them? If you have, did they adopt it? If they did not, what was the reason? Like the Airbino and the ShopRite that you mentioned.
Could you also agree with me that technology is not cheap? Technology is not cheap, yeah? From the equipment to the certifications to maintaining to operations, is not actually cheap. So also these businesses are in as much as they want to use cutting-edge technologies, they are also, there's also a budget constraint. But I'm aware, or I can say to some large extent, that we advise these businesses to go into what is called partnership and long-term goals. Another thing where the Edge is going to be doing in a couple of months to come, maybe in November, then spill into next year, is incubating new startups, new partners, right? Now, we're incubating new partners to educate them on how to drive these technologies I just talked about. Now, these new partners will now be the new face of market for the new technology and AI innovation that Cisco is working on. It's Cisco's product that is designed for collaboration, not for Cisco. This is a WebEx board. We also have the Roomba, which is in the other room that I'm going to be showing you. So here is the Edge Educate. Between the WebEx board and the Roomba is that this is all what you need for your collaboration to work, right? So you could get any size of screen, right? And you have this, right? So depending on how you want your collaboration to look like, you could either get a WebEx board if you want to be, if you want to write on the board, or if you just want collaboration and you can share on your laptop and people can see content, then it's fine. So it's designed for everybody. So this is Cisco's security suite or security architecture, reference architecture. So this displays all our solutions and how they integrate into each other, from cloud security to SD-WAN to manage locations, and how we also implement industry threat defense. So we refer to it as our security architecture, and we use this architecture to implement zero trust. Yeah? So now what you see here, these green dots are active Meraki devices, which means they are active right now as we speak. And we have a total of 4.5 million. Yeah? Active devices. Right? So this is the Meraki portfolio. So you have from Wi-Fi to switches to routers, security and SD-WAN, even cellular gateways. This solution is referred to as DNA spaces or smart spaces, and it gives you an overview of what's happening in the building. So this is smart spaces, powered by Cisco Spaces, WebEx, Catalyst, and what? Meraki.
It's a convergence of multiple OEMs, where we're trying to bridge the gap between what you find outside of the country, where people can come to somewhere local and feel and experience technology.
We're leveraging on Cisco Networking Academy to upskill people digitally, like I said, individuals and government institutions, universities, secondary schools, and NGOs who want to have people improve their skills in terms of having digital skills.
It was really a wonderful experience, like coming to a tech organization and witnessing some of their innovative, what they've done.
I know that Cisco is also investing heavily in software, and I also want to thank NIS for this great opportunity, bringing young minds together to experience tech. I can say this place is the headquarters of tech in Nigeria. I'm actually blessed to be here today.